right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is a YouTube test banning test number 2. Number 1 was a good.
Number 1 was mission complete. We had a problem with communication between Grandmaster Reverend and I. At first, the problem with number 1 was that we could not conjoin this call like we are now. And the problem with number 1 persisted whenever we could not communicate directly with each other and could not hear each other speak. Well, he could probably hear me, but I could not hear a word he was saying.
Yeah.
So basically, we ended part 1 and we restarted. Where we left off on part 1 was basically I was sitting here explaining the collective and duality consciousness, basically meaning that this is a universal religion for a term of understanding, even though I personally don't like the word religion. But basically, consciousness is the universal understanding. Excuse me, Grandmaster, we were stepping on each other?
No, I was just saying that George Carlin said that religion is a thing that it's a way to control people.
Exactly, exactly. George Carlin said a lot of shit, such as George Carlin worships the sun, but he prays to Joe Pesci. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because you can rely on the sun to be there between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. You can rely on the sun. You can rely on it.
If any chance that I use it, brother, I do apologize.
If any chance, what?
If I did step on your toes, I do apologize.
Oh no, I'm just basically going off of what you said. I'm expounding on what George Carlin has said.
Yeah.
And like you can rely on the sun. And just like he says with Joe Pesci, half the time it works praying, half the time it don't. But most times Joe Pesci's results work better.
Yeah, because if your dog's barking while you're taking a shit in your backyard, there you go, hit a baseball bat.
Yeah, man, I'm going to sit here and pray to an entity that the mass, so claim the mass of the populace believes in, to make my neighbor's dog stop barking at my tree and shitting in my yard. No, I'm going to go get my buddy, go tell him to knock on the door and tell him, you take care of your dog, or I'm going to take care of you with this baseball bat.
Well,
which is basically how the joke goes.
Yeah, big time. One of the things we did last night, I did a video because Alex Jones reported that YouTube is banning movie trailers and video games play that show guns. So I thought, maybe if I do this a little bit, I got action figures that have guns, a blaster. I go, we're going to get bad because you have a blaster in your holster.
And like I've always said, man, if we're going to be censorship on what is a weapon and what is not, then that means we're technically playing who's the better killer.
Yeah.
And as I pick up my weapon of choice.
It's the good weapon of choice. It's the jointy. But yeah, the whole thing on now YouTube is gonna start bleeping foul language like fuck, shit, cut, bitch, motherfucker, all kind of shit. And if you find out a bleep later on in his video later on, we know there's been bleeps and shit like cunt, suck, motherfucker, titty, bitch, whatever you call it.
It's no longer the 7 bad words. There's like 15 of them now.
Yeah.
Just to make a joke off of something that was in the 60s and 70s. There's no longer 7 dirty words. There's like 13 of them motherfuckers.
And you can actually combine these words like jabroni butt sniffer.
That makes me want to take Sancho out back with my razor blade baseball bat.
Or give a monkey a blow-up doll and a bone pipe.
This is people basically saying stuff. And like I've said a few times before, if you're being PC, you're not PC. Because to be politically correct, you can't be politically correct. Because I can look at you and call you an old fucking ugly fart. But that's not being respectful is a better word instead of being politically correct.
Yeah. Bill Maher had a show called Politically Incorrect back in the 90s. And I watched it every day. And he had people from all walks of life on the show, especially George Carlin.
There's another comedian out there that knows this shit. Lewis Black.
Oh yeah.
Lewis Black. I can almost swear that's his name. And he knows his shit just as good as George Carlin knows his shit. But George Carlin is more of the religious aspect of like, I can bash you because I know my shit. But Lewis Black is more of the physical things like, fuck you on taxes, fuck you on income taxes, fuck you on federal taxes, fuck you, and fuck you. Because guess what? They're technically illegal, but they're doing it to us anyway. Because before the 1920s, the government did not rely on a cent from any of its citizens. And guess what? We had roads, we had hospitals, we had fire departments, we had police stations, we had government buildings. Before 1920, the government did not rely on its citizens for a red cent.
They do now because they got police substations. Very, very small places where, I mean, instead of the police departments, they got these little substations and
shit. And just to go off on a tangent before I actually find the actual meme of what I was talking about. Oh.
Yeah, you were talking about that before your audio feed was cut by these cocksnots.
Yeah,
See, there's the word. Cocksnot. There's another word.
Yeah, there's another word. I've made roughly 40 memes, give or take, and let's just say less than 5 to 8 of them have been straight up scratch. Like I literally found an image, I literally took words out of my head, and I literally put it to the picture. This is the meme I was just attempting to quote. Come on now. Load. Open image, a new tab. I don't need you that huge. All right. You tell me if they can see it, Grandmaster. Up until 1913, Americans kept all of their earnings. Despite this, we still had schools, colleges, roads, vast railroads, streets, subways, the Army, Navy, and the military, the Marine Corps. Who managed to win 8 wars? Tell me again why we, the people, need to be extorted, which basically means tell me again why we need to pay taxes and why we need to get this tax every February and we need to turn in our statement every March so that we get some shit.
It's taxes by April 15th. Well, Colin said he did these different types of things
and technically it's unconstitutional. If you actually went down and actually paid attention to your laws, they're not supposed to tax the citizens because isn't that partially the reason why we started the American Revolution?
Yeah.
It was like maybe 1/10 of the entire factor, but still.
Yeah, back then, if you made a little bit of money, if they made a little bit of crops, grew a little bit of crops, the king would send his assholes to your home and take your shit.
Yeah.
Take your shit.
That's what the old days was about. We, as an American society, for they said 1913, so that meant at least 100, a good 125 years we went without taxing the citizens.
Yeah.
And technically, because they understood that you couldn't, because it was written down. Oh, let's go off on this subject. Which one is it? Because I always seem to forget. We both know cancer and AIDS is a big epidemic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one of them had a patented cure in 97? I know it's one of the two.
Cancer.
Cancer?
Yeah.
See? But like everybody says, there's no profit in a cure. If you cure the patient of cancer, that patient is a one-time patient.
Well, the thing that we're going to know is that there's foods that can kill cancer, like broccoli, cabbage. Foods can kill cancer. What you eat can kill cancer.
Now, for a moment, I'd like to run off into theory for a moment. For a moment, I'd like to run off into theory for a moment, and I don't think I've brought this theory up, and I'm kind of glad that this is live, automatic, first time hearing about this theory. Okay. All right, so if the government or the people in control of the planet are so adamant about pushing this specific Catholicism religion, either A, they believe it, or B, they found that it's a good way to make it easier for the mass sheeple to just follow the shepherd.
Yeah.
But if we're going off of A, like I said, this is a theory here. If we're going off of A, they're expecting somebody to be born at some point in time to become their leader. Because that's what the Antichrist is supposed to be.
Well, we haven't seen him yet.
But you get what I'm saying. If we go off of A and they completely 100% believe that this shit is legitimate fact, and that's the reason why we're mass controlling all these people so that we have more strength. If we go off of A, theory A, in theory, they're waiting for the Antichrist to appear and be their leader. But here's the switch scenario. Either they're waiting for the Antichrist to be their leader, or they're waiting for the Antichrist to automatically make him mundane so that he does not have the ability to do any of the end times, so that they have more control, because they will eliminate the end times by making it so that the Antichrist doesn't have any ability.
To be honest, I can hold the whole entire Antichrist bullshit was created so everybody who's a Christian, who's a Catholic, who's a whatever religion you are, to be scared. I'm afraid of the Antichrist, but the real Antichrist is the elite.
The real Antichrist.
Yeah.
And we're back from these commercials. The real Antichrist is what?
The elite.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're taking it as a complete metaphor, and you're making it that the 13 families is the Antichrist.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. That's how come I was like sitting here saying, how about these theories? What is your theory upon? Because this is how I was looking at it, because everybody has their different perspective on how they understand something. I can sit here and point at Revelation chapter 5 all day and be like, look, right there, that's me. I have plot armor. I will be here. Don't worry.
Because most of the families are devil worshippers.
Yeah. Because basically, if you want to sit here and think about something, you want to sit here and actually analyze. If you want to sit here and actually analyze something, there's Yahweh, and yes, I'm using real names here just to let you know I have knowledge. I don't say God. There's Yahweh, there's Lucifer, there's Yahshua Yusuf ben Hur, which Lucifer and Yahshua Yusuf ben Hur, who is Jesus Christ, are technically brothers because they were created by Yahweh. And technically, think about it. Think about it. If Lucifer has a child that is the Antichrist, does that not make Yahshua automatically the Antichrist's uncle? Since Lucifer and Yahshua are brothers.
Yep.
So All this relates around into a family matter.
Think about it, the 13 families are insanely related to this motherfucker.
Exactly, because if you actually sat back and thought about it, Yahweh created Lucifer, whether it be 20 billion years before Yahshua Yusuf was even a figment of a thought. Think about it. Yahweh created Yahshua Yusuf. Yahweh created Lucifer. No matter what, they're brothers. And we have all been told that the Antichrist is the child of Lucifer and is the exact opposite of everything Yahshua Yusuf was. Now think about this for a second. If you're the opposite of everything Jesus Christ was, number one, wouldn't that automatically make you a female?
Yeah.
How many people sit here and back here and think that the Antichrist will be a male?
I mean, do you remember the movie
Left Behind? The first three, I was kind of mad whenever they didn't make the fourth one. They reiterated the first one.
There was a third installment of The Omen, and in the installment, Damien had children. He had a daughter and a son, and on their hands, it had 666.
Hmm.
And I've seen all three, the trilogy, but this fourth installment where Damien had children, a son and a daughter. His daughter was giving birth to her brother, so the doctor took the thing from his daughter, put it in this woman who was married to a politician, and when she gave birth, the child, and toward the end of the movie, the son had 666 on his left hand.
Well, first and foremost, I like to point out the Monster Can logo, which in Hebrew, it means 666, because that's not an M for the people who still believe that it is an M. That is three different signals. You can look symbols. You can look it up for yourself. First and foremost. Second and foremost, I have a theoretical thing here. Technically, you see things. Most times, you see things in a reverse fashion in some sort whenever you are seeing them in a dream. And what I'm stating is that the number 666 technically comes from the dream of whoever wrote Revelation. So we're not legitimately, we don't technically know whether or not it's a 999 or a fucking G or a J, JJ or something.
Look at the Google Chrome emblem.
Mm-hmm. Look at the Windows emblem. I had a video. There was a video, and it got taken down because technically the guy did not fucking predict the world properly, but he showed a bunch of shit, and he explained all these predictions, and he uses the Google emblem, he uses the Windows emblem, he uses the Macintosh emblem, he uses the UN's emblem, he uses the United States bird and the eagle and everything. He uses a bunch of different emblems to be like, okay, February 12th of this year, the World War III will begin. Well, here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. In this day and age, and we both know this pretty well, this is an information war.
Yes, it is. It is the war for your mind, like what
And like the Cold War was fought with who can get the bigger gun faster. That's how it was fought. Who can get the bigger gun faster, or who can say, okay, no, ceasefire quicker. This right here, this world war on information is World War III, because technically, us as the resistance are sitting here supplying the sheeple with information that at first they don't want to listen to. And sometimes it takes a few years to beat it into their head.
Our information is the ammo with a mind.
Exactly. You can take our information and sit back and analyze it and find evidence, whereas you take their information and you try to ask a question about it, they're like, shut up, no more questions, get back in line.
I had a video that I did. It was, I read an article and also watched a video about the San Francisco DA made some good news for pot smokers here in California. And that if you were arrested or doing some time for pot crime, you will be released, and if you're arrested, you'll be hit with a misdemeanor, not a felony.
Damn. Let's drop some more knowledge on these people, Grandmaster.
I mean, well, the whole thing is that when I came across this article, I was like, wow, good news for pot smokers. Okay. In San Francisco, a DA, a California DA, federal DA, said that if you were convicted of pot crime, have marijuana on you, or if you were whatever with marijuana, your sentence would be commuted, and you will be, because in California, pot is now legal in California now.
Yeah, and if you're found with marijuana on you, they can no longer destroy it. They technically have to leave it on your person, just like a pack of cigarettes or a lighter. Unless they are physically arresting you.
Yeah. But federally, marijuana is a stage 1. Why?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I heard about
because they say
certain states make something illegal. That means that a federal officer can pull you over, and technically, since it's illegal in the country, they can arrest you for the marijuana misdemeanor charge.
But here's the thing, though: heroin, crack cocaine, meth is Schedule 2. Now, here's the question. Why is marijuana Schedule 1? It ain't no gateway drug.
And we both know damn well whenever they do something, they do it backwards, and the lower number means that it's strong.
Marijuana is a plant. It is grown on the earth.
What the fuck do you think Coke is made from? Coke is made from fucking a plant that has to be manufactured. That's the only difference. Marijuana is natural. You can go out and pick a bud off of a plant and smoke it. The difference between marijuana and Coke is that you literally have to uproot the plant, send it through a fucking digester, fucking send it back out with different chemicals added to it, and that's how you get Coke and or crack. And that's in my opinion, if you want to go off of their scale, everything that's heroin and ice and angel dust and all this shit that's above Coke and crack should be number 1. Coke and crack should be number 2. Fucking marijuana should be number 3, because technically the lower the number, the more deadly the fucking substance is. So basically everything from heroin, meth, and angel dust and all that shit is number fucking 1. Number 2 should be Coke and crack and inhalants. Number 3 should be just marijuana. In my opinion.
I mean, you cannot die from smoking marijuana.
You can die from marijuana if you smoked your body weight, but that is technically impossible.
Yeah.
So, while we're still doing, let's try to get knocked off the air again. I'm going to pull up a big meme. Can the screen see this?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see it. Let's fry their brain with information, brother.
Accepting what knowledge is the easy part. Understanding what knowledge presents, not what knowledge is, presents quite the challenge. Putting the knowledge to work as you show what it is, that is the war. Basically, these are the cavemen. These are the cavemen that was here roughly 15 to 3,000 years ago. These
that was drawn by Leonardo da Vinci.
Yep. This is basically the people who have been here for the past 100 years. This is everyone, including us right now. Yeah. The awakened have gotten to here. The awakened have gotten to level 3. Level 3, which basically what we're explaining here is chromosomes. Level 1 is 42 and 2 chromosomes. This is why you need a pair, because we both know if you get a single chromosome, you end up with Down syndrome. So you need a pair of chromosomes in order to achieve the next level, which basically, like I just said, the last 50 to 100 years is we've been on level 2. We are all trying to wake up to level 3, which is 46 and 2. Very soon, there will be an event because of Stephen Hawking's death. There is many events going around the world at the same time. And I will say this because, like I've told Grandmaster behind the scenes, I'm the kind of person that'll sit here and talk. I don't care what my brain says and not to say. I will say it. And basically, we will all be forced to level 3, whether we like it or not.
Stephen Hawking was going to
tell us about alternate realities and alternate dimensions, and tell us to stop contacting aliens because they will obliterate us.
Yeah, he was talking. Stephen Hawking was wanted to talk to President Trump about aliens, about releasing information about aliens.
Yes, and that's the entire thing. The American government knows more than what they're allowing us. Now, the second half of this meme basically says, I apologize if you need this explained, as it is as simple as it gets. There's a little guy here and there's a book here that's a legitimate book. It's called The 18 Absent Years of Jesus Christ. And that has the word reality upon it. There's a patch on the little dude's heart, which is spirituality. And there's a patch on the little dude's head, which is mentality. And basically, you can literally go find this book, 18 Absent Years of Jesus Christ, and you can look it up for yourself and read it. And there's also another book called Live the Promise, which tells you how Yahshua Yusuf Ben Hur was born in the 3-dimensional reality from a higher dimension. There is also one more book that the title of it explains everything. Nothing in this book is true, but it is exactly how things are.
Now, what's funny is that most people don't realize if you play a certain type of video games or watch certain movies, you are given bits and pieces of actual information, which they're giving you only bit by bit, piece by piece in their films and in some certain video games.
Let me say one of my quotes for real here. We all know basically that movies are movies, okay? But there's that 1%, at least that 1% fact.
Yes, that 1%. That 1% that only shows
is a perfect example. Is a perfect example. If you can understand the metaphoricalness behind Matrix, Matrix is also another excellent example.
Even X-Files, the show X-Files is another one.
X-Files was less metaphorical than Matrix, but yes, it was straight and to the point. Like, yo, you need to pay attention. This is how powerful they are, and these are their ankle biters. This isn't even their foot soldiers. This is the ankle biters of extra dimensionals, extraterrestrials.
There's a movie with Jenna Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, and there was a scene where this guy was explaining how to get the world all just fucked up, and how he explained it, it was reality.
Yeah.
Which led up years later to 9/11. And I'm like, this movie was 96. And 4 years later, and 5 years later, holy crap, fuck. It was years later and shit, you know, and and I'm just like, fuck, you know, but there's so much. Can you hear me? Ah, I think oh damn. You there?
And just to prove a point, that image, that is the only image that will close out my browser anytime I send it.
Yeah. That's that.
Just to
Yeah.
legitimate a censor. That is the only image I can send anything. But that one image will close my browser out.
We got number two, man. We got number two. Number two, man.
That image will automatically close my browser out.
They know, man. We're on their ass, man. Holy crap.
That single image, that image right there tells me that that is fact. Because I can send any, like I said, over 40 roughly memes. And
number two was a good. This is what we got. That is from Kirk Curse. He got that, and that is proof. That is proof. So, test 2 was a good, and we're on to number 3.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going to leave off over here. We're going to leave off with number 2, and with number 3.
Yeah.
All right. And again, Curse, we're going to start number 3 in a few minutes. So let's again watch. And then number 1, realize if you got this definition, you are the resistance. Sorry, Alex. All right. So number 2 is a good to go, and we are looking good. All right. Peace out.